Now, geographic Asia is comprised of more than 48 countries, which are as diverse from one another than any other on the Earth. Now, in geographic Asia, there are more than 400 species of wildlife. Most of these are individually unique. In this first episode, we will be looking at some of Asia's unique aquatic animals. Sea cows belong to a very large group called the Sirenians, of which there are 5 species, the most prolific being the manatees, which are found in North and South America and some in Africa. The species we're going to look at today is its close cousin, the dugong. The dugong is found in Southeast Asia, South Pacific, and parts of northern Australia. The difference between the dugong and the manatee is in the tail. The dugong has a forked tail, which is fluked, whereas the manatee has a single large pedal-like tail. Dugongs are extremely rare creatures who move about in a majestic and slow manner. These mystical creatures of the sea are the stuff European mermaid legends and Aboriginal dreams are made of. Perhaps due to the fact that the dugong can stand upright in water, a feat few marine mammals are capable of. Gracie, a 4-year-old dugong here at Singapore Sentosa Underwater World. Now, Gracie was found when she was only 7 months old, and she was near starving and very weak, swimming by her dead mother at Pulau Ubin, an island of Singapore. Now, I believe this is the first time that a dugong this young has been raised successfully in captivity. Do you remember what Gracie was like when she was first brought here?
Actually, when the time that I just came in,
yes.
Gracie was already brought in here 1 year ago. And when she was brought in here, what the other divers actually told us is that she was about only 6 months old, and she weighed only about 60 kilograms, and 60 kilograms for a baby calf is actually quite light. So she had to be brought into Underwater World Singapore, and every 4 hours we actually had to feed her once with milk. And slowly in the next few days we had to introduce her to seagrass, and actually now Ruby is feeding on at least about 17 to 18 kilograms of seagrass per day.
What sort of personality does Gracie have?
Gracie is actually a very friendly, playful, and very gentle dugong. And she likes to play with us. As long as you're very gentle with her and you've got seagrass, she'll come up to you. Sometimes, even when you're vacuuming, she'll actually come and nudge against you, telling you that she wants to play.
In the wild, dugongs like Gracie are found in warm, shallow waters. These sea cow are aquatic herbivores, and sea grasses constitute their main diet. Gracie spends most of her day feeding, and she's able to feed in both deep and shallow waters. Being gentle, harmless creatures, hand feeding them isn't a problem, especially since they have only one pair of tusk-like teeth.
So that she doesn't suck air when she's eating a seagrass.
All right.
Yes. So all you have to do is just like this, put it really down. Once you feel her eating your seagrass, just let go, so that the seagrass doesn't float out of your hand.
All right. Okay, let me try this.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Feels like a huge munching machine with a partial vacuum cleaner inside. Captive dugongs like Gracie have a lifespan of up to about 70 years of age. And when she's fully grown, she can weigh up to 500 kilograms and measure 10 feet long. Once every month, Gracie will have to undergo a checkup to see how she is progressing in an artificial home. This is an operation that requires a whole lot of patience and manpower. Dr. Cha, how is Gracie's health at the moment?
Well, she's doing quite well, John. When she first came in, she was barely 40 kilos, dehydrated, very stressed. She had just lost her mother. And now she's a whopping 154 kilograms.
Here in captivity, Gracie's biggest fear is probably her regular visits to the vet. But in the wild, dugongs are faced with greater dangers. Dugongs swim slowly at an average of 10 kilometers per hour, so they are largely defenseless in the face of danger. Do dugongs have any natural enemies in the wild?
Well, of course, man and man-made appliances are the most important cause of death among dugongs in the wild. But they also get attacked by sharks and crocodiles.
Dugongs have been classified as endangered animals. They have been hunted for their meat, which has been likened to veal. They are also hunted for oil. Their hides are made into leather, and the bones and teeth into ivory artifacts. Dugongs aren't prolific animals, hence they cannot replace the decline in population fast enough. A dugong like Gracie needs at least another 6 more years to reach sexual maturity. But while they're still around, there is still hope.
They are really sentinels of nature, and practical things we can do, developing marine parks where they are protected, not hunted, where there are rules about boats and the use of fishing gear, and also, of course, having Gracie here, we can use it as a platform for educating the public. It's easier for someone who can see a dugong, even though it's in captivity, and to be able to understand the plight of the dugong in the wild.
Now the dugong hasn't always been a solitary animal. In the past, herds of hundreds of these animals have been sighted. Now today, 4 to 6 are the more common numbers that we see today in herds of dugongs. In Southeast Asia, the numbers have been dwindling steadily, and sightings have been very, very far and in between. The largest numbers now are mainly found in Australia. Now, in the threat that the pressure of population has upon these animals, we need to work together to try and help preserve and conserve these beautiful mermaids of the sea. Hello, welcome back. We are now standing outside the Dolphin Lagoon at Sentosa, Singapore, where some of the most amazing Asian marine mammals are kept. Now we're going to introduce you to the Asian Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin, or commonly known as the pink dolphin. Now these animals are distributed throughout most of Asia, as far north as China as far west as Africa, down south to the Pacific Islands and Australia. Like the dugongs, these marine mammals are also highly endangered, and they require very special conservation efforts. So do join me now. There is a hive of activity going on here at the Dolphin Lagoon, as the trainers prepare the 5 pink dolphins to meet the daily onslaught of visitors, eager to witness this rare Asian species. These are activities that the dolphins actually enjoy, as dolphins are creatures easily bored, and they regard these sessions as a form of play. Now we join here with Jumbo. He's one of the most experienced and oldest dolphin here. Jumbo is about 20 to 25 years old, and he has been at the Dolphin Lagoon for the last 3 years. Now, Jumbo is pink, but you can see some speckles of gray on him. With the Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin or the pink dolphin, they are actually born gray, and as they age, the color becomes lighter and lighter. In fact, in the older dolphins, the dorsal fin becomes very, very pale. Can you show me a trick that you have taught Jumbo here?
Okay, no problem. Okay. Wave to him. Hi. You want to try?
Yes, sure. I would love to try this.
I give you a fish. Just feed him. And then you wave to him, raise up your hand.
Oh, good boy. That's excellent. Now, how did you actually get him to train to behave like that?
Okay, first, you hold his flipper first. Like this. Hold his flipper. And then slowly move his flipper. If he has a response to us, we blow the whistle. This whistle is tell him you did the right thing. And also we use the fish to reinforce him. And then tell him you do a good job. After that, maybe later, we try to keep his flipper away far, and then just give the signal, and then he can do the behavior.
So basically, you are rewarding the dolphin for a good behavior. What sort of special relationships do you have with Jumbo?
He like my son. If
like
I'm
the
happy
son.
or unhappy, I also will talk to him.
Oh, excellent.
Sometimes if I'm unhappy, he also can feel it. And maybe he just kiss me or hug me, like tell me don't be so upset or don't be so unhappy. But if I'm happy, I tell him, maybe he will jump, dance with me or something else.
So
Like
he
my
shares
son.
your feelings?
Yes.
Dolphins have always been rumored to be intelligent, and a fancy showmanship isn't all they are capable of. They are equally good at survival in the open seas. Don't be fooled by the leisurely pace they are swimming at. When threatened, they can speed off at 35 kilometers per hour. That's not their only defense. Dolphins can jump up to a height of 3.5 meters so that they can see beyond the horizon, or slap their tails to scare away potential predators. As their name suggests, these Indo-Pacific humpback dolphins are found in the shallow coastal waters of the Indian and Pacific Ocean. They seldom venture beyond the surf break. The Asian ones differ from their Pacific counterparts in that they have a crooked and humped dorsal fin made up of fatty tissue and exhibit the vibrant pink color. Why are the dolphins pink?
Well, that's an interesting question, John. In the tropical climate, the underlying blood vessels of the skin show up more if they get flushed with the heat. So that's why they appear pink in areas of the skin which do not have pigmentation.
Fred, what is the most unique characteristic about these pink dolphins?
Well, they're found near coastal waters and living in quite murky waters sometimes. They have this ability to swim upstream rivers, and sometimes when the water becomes more towards fresh water. So they have this ability to adapt to murky waters, to hunt for food.
Yeah.
Most of them are found in pods, usually young, immature males with mature females and their calves. And they're very social, very tactile, and there's always a leader in a group, and there's always a structure within the pod, who's boss and who's going to be the next boss.
Like bats, the pods of pink dolphins source for their prey using echolocation, which means that they can detect even the slightest vibration in the water. Although in captivity, the act of hunting is no longer necessary, these dolphins adapt well. Where did Underwater World acquire these dolphins from?
They originally came from Thailand, and my understanding from the owner was that it must be nearly 20 years back, the dolphins were destined for the plate. They're being brought in as food to be sold in the markets. So he had a prawn farm, and he took those live dolphins, put them in his prawn farm, and eventually what he did was he set up a small marine park in Thailand. It's actually a very remote part of Thailand, Chanthaburi, and we heard about his marine park. We talked to him, and we were able to bring over a few of these dolphins to Singapore.
Given the steady decline of these pink dolphins in the wild and the high mortality of the newborn, how can we then ensure the survival and conservation of these beautiful marine animals in the future?
Yeah, just to expand on what you said, there have been studies in the wild on the population of this species of dolphin. Studies in Xiamen, studies in Hong Kong have shown drops in the population of this pink dolphin. And another study done by the Swire Research Institute in Hong Kong has shown very alarming trends in the reproduction of this species. You know, so much so that the 70% infant mortality in the first year, 95% infant mortality over 5 years. So, you know, that's totally unsustainable. The population, of course, is dropping. So I think probably the most important thing that people need to understand is about their reproductive biology. You know, without an understanding of the reproductive biology, it's very hard to improve on the reproduction rates. So we're in fact working with scientists from Hong Kong, scientists from other parts of the world to try and better understand the reproductive biology and the general biology of this species, because it's kept in so few places.
With 5 of these rare and endangered mammals entrusted in their care, the underwater world is doing what it can to ensure their survival. The dolphins are given a check once every week to ensure that they are in the pink of health.
That was for fibrinogen content, and in dolphins. So we take a sample of the blowhole, and
this is a sterile sample from the blowhole. And what are you testing for here?
we test for any bacteria, excess number of cells, which can indicate a problem in the respiratory tract. One of the biggest disease problems dolphins have is respiratory disease.
Right.
Because everything in the lungs is under such great pressure when they dive. It's common for them to suffer. Because we see the dolphins every day.
Apparently, all the dolphins are faring well, but there is yet to be a confirmed pregnancy in sight, an event which everybody here eagerly anticipates. Fred, how often do the pink dolphins conceive?
They become mature after 10 years of age. And a fertile female can conceive every year, but she normally does once every 2 years. Because the conception period, the gestation period, is 11 to 12 months. It's very long. And normally when she's nursing the calf, she doesn't come into season again, and she's not very receptive to the male.
And how long do they nurse the calves for?
Anything up to 2 years.
Fred, you know, with the pink dolphin populations as it is at the moment, how many do you estimate to be in the wild, that are left in the wild?
Well, I can only give you a subjective estimate, you know, depending on how people do the survey. But I think 30,000 would be a good guesstimate.
Worldwide?
Worldwide.
That's not a lot, is there?
No, unfortunately.
One of the largest population of wild pink dolphins is currently found in Hong Kong. But these 120 dolphins there are now under threat from Hong Kong's bustling development, overfishing and heavy boat traffic. The worst part of it is that they are not known to migrate, no matter how degenerated the environment becomes. These pink dolphins are found primarily in coastal waters and estuaries. But sadly, their numbers in the wild are declining fast due to the immense human pressures and pollution of these estuaries and coastal waters. We need to accelerate our efforts in learning ways in which how we can help them in the wild. Sadly, for many of the dolphins today, their only chance of survival are in ocean parks like this, where we may be able to learn more about them so that we can improve our methods of conservation. These pink dolphins, with their unique coloration and interesting antics, have traditionally endeared themselves to young and old alike. And for the people who have the opportunity to work closely with this rare animal, they hope that visitors will take home more than just photographs, but a conservation message as well.
ChannelNewsAsia, a network of MediaCorp News.